Welcome into Towing the Line with your host, Joey Nips.
How we doing, fans? NFL is back. I am fired up to go over this new show with you today called Towing the Line. I'm so fired up. As you know, socks will be off, football is here, and we will get into many things in terms of AFC South, Thursday night football, and what Sunday is going to be served at the ice cream. Let's do this.
We'll put it like that. What's it like? I was actually there in attendance in Cleveland for Coe's first career NFL touchdown, which was awesome. And,
Awesome.
It was a great game. You could hear me on camera. I was just screaming, "Say it ain't so, Coe! Say it ain't so!" Sadly, from there, the game kind of went off the rails a little. That was the last high moment of that game, but it was a great game. Overtime loss, fun time.
Yeah.
How was that moment for you? Seeing the first, whether it was on TV, in person, wherever you were, seeing his first NFL touchdown. How was that?
Well, dude, I mean, we were at home because it was a away game. We don't travel to a lot of the away games because we can get into that later. But, to watch that and to think I wished I was there live. So to have your video was so cool. And just said, man, this is so cool. I mean, that was so cool for us. Catching it from Tom Brady, right? Like, he's got the ball yet. I mean, first NFL touchdown means a lot, right? I mean, as a dad, that's so cool to see. And it's just, it was fun to watch. And, it didn't have the outcome we wanted, but still the same. What a memory. What a memory to have, right? So,
and honestly,
cool.
those one of the best guests ever, the Buccateers in the house tonight. You guys hear him on Tampa radio all the time. He's one of the best in the business. My favorite personal in the business. That's why I'm elated tonight. Growing up in the Chicago area, you're used to sports radio. That's what gets me through the day. So this man does help get me through the day, I will say, with the Pat and Aaron show at work. Nothing like it. So it's incredible. It looks like we got Sundae bumbling in. I'm Tampa Tones. We are joined by lead goon tonight, host of the Pat and Aaron show of WDAE, Pat Donovan. And it sounds like Sundae is bumbling a little bit. Going to put him on mute for a second until that gets a little clear. But we're joined by Pat Donovan.
It looks like Sundae's hanging out with Cheech and Chong in a car with the windows up or something over there.
It does look like you got a little...
No, my camera's broke.
And he was trying to pull me in big time. And then I was like, nothing's happened with Indianapolis yet. Like, I really want to give Indy a chance. And then also I talked to Cody Bruton, once he took over Richmond Cannon, still like, well, look, I was like, y'all just give me the opportunity to explore free agency, see what's going on, and then kind of make us do it.
All right, everyone, you are tuned into the Buccateers at wide receiver, Kalen Geiger, and we are about to have a great pod. This is the Buccateers. You're tapped in, and here we go. Welcome back into Towing the Line with your host, Joey Nips.
And that's exactly right. We are towing the line every Thursday, weekly. You've seen Campus Kickoff with J-Lo. Now we are here to do the show Towing the Line. And let me give you a little brief layout of this is going to go weekly, okay, fans? Thursday night football. We'll cover that every week. We got a little Friday spice this time around, so we'll get you on that too. The state of the AFC South. Colts are my team. Got to always show off the little horsey blue. But we talk about the entire division. Towing the line. What's making me toe the line? About to blow my head off and go in on something from this past week. Sunday. I got to give a little treat out after I get a little angry. We'll talk about a couple things. I like looking into Sunday. And then we'll close it out with some locker room talk.
The opening coin toss with Joey Nips.
I'm going to have to get the thinking cap on here because, a lot of people are on Philly, right? I mean, you look at the Eagles and the Cowboys, it's a divisional game. But after this Parsons trade, a lot of Jerry Jones talk. People are not really happy with Dallas, but Lee Corso says, not so fast, my friends. The spread in this game is 8.5 points. That's a lot for a divisional game, week 1, where teams are feeling each other out. Dak is back, and that offense is alive. They did add George Pickens, do not forget. The backfield's different with Javonte Williams, Miles Sanders, and rookie from Texas back. I think they'll be able to put up points in this game, and that's why whether it's Dallas plus 8.5 or Jake Ferguson, they're good tight end. Remember, Dak wasn't there last year. Minus 115 on over 15.5 yards. That should take probably 2 to 3 catches to solve. So I'm not saying Dallas is going to win this game. Philly has the more talent. They have a good defense. But it could come down to a couple plays here or there where they have to sneak through at the end, and maybe they're a little off week 1. I know Coach over there said we ain't worried about banner night. They'll soak that all in. And then on Friday, how can you forget that in Sao Paulo, the Chiefs and the Chargers, another divisional game. I think it's interesting if you look at the schedule closely yet. We have a lot of divisional matchups this weekend. And Patrick Mahomes just lost the Super Bowl, we know. I think he comes back with Kelsey and Tay. Bring the whole show. They're going to have good seasons. Probably Kelsey's last, if you ask me. But what will happen? Harbaugh on the other side, thinking it could be real close. I'm very intrigued to see what they do with their weaponry this year. They got Hampton, the rookie running back. They got some new receivers. They brought back Keenan Allen, blast from the past. But Ladd McConkey, he could have that really big season. I look for the Chiefs in a close one on this one. So, again, if you're looking at both of these divisional games, be all over it. The teams that are going up against the better Super Bowl matchup, Chiefs and Eagles, they're going to stay in these games because in week 1, that's what happens. And there's a little Thursday, if you like a little bet, I gave you something there. Friday, I just wanted to talk game strip, especially in these other countries where the track, we saw it last year with the Eagles and Packers, could be a little tricky, but there's your Thursday and your Friday info with the opening coin toss.
Time to pull out the map and dive into the state of the AFC South with Joey Nips.
And you know what? This can come off now. I already showed you my blue mascot. We all know. Well, if you listen, I don't know what you're doing by now if you haven't. But I'm a big Indianapolis Colts fan. Bucks are my number 2. And here we are at the AFC South. If you look at each of these teams, a lot of people say it's the most wide open division. I like to say it that way. People will call it a crappy division. I like to use wide open because let's look at it. The Colts have a QB problem, we know. Richardson didn't win the starting job. Can Daniel Jones be Sam Darnold? Could he be Alex Smith? Could he be Geno Smith? We'll see. I think it can happen with a lot of talent around that in Indy. And new defensive coordinator, Lou Anarumo. I think there's going to be some good things adding up there. Houston, I like the quarterback. We all do, C.J. Stroud for the most part. And he has Nico Collins, but really outside of that, the O-line, a little banged up. That's their biggest question mark. The running game, Joe Mixon's out the first month, and then they have Nick Chubb, who's been injury prone. How will that shake out? Will it have to be Stroud and a lot of nothing else because they struggled out of the gates last year. Jacksonville, Duval. People don't forget, and until you win games, Lawrence is going to look at a little Cohen could look, people liked his offense. You all saw it in Tampa. It worked pretty well, but this is a new regime. This is a new place and a new face. We'll see what happens. And then the Titans. Look, they got a rookie QB in Cam Ward. It's big for the coach this year to get off on the right foot. I don't really count last year between Levis and Rudolph. They didn't have a lot going, but each of these teams have questions, and it's not going to be an easy one. I think 10 wins gets the division here. And of course, I'll be a homer. I'll be biased. I think Colts get that at 10-7. I think Houston follows in second at 9-8 or 8-9. And then Jacksonville 7 or 8 wins. And then the Titans probably 5. So I think 10 gets there. I'm not saying they can't make wild card anybody else, but I think that's the state of the AFC South. When you look from top to bottom, it's not overly top heavy, but if you go back and you look at the depth charts, I think you'll be pleasantly surprised what you see in Indianapolis. They added guys like Travarius Ward, Cam Bynum. Again, Houston, they have some injuries, but they have the best defense. That's the thing about them. Jacksonville, it's just a total question mark. It could be fire in a cannon. I'm not saying that. Bucks-wise fire the cannons, but I doubt it. And then Titans are a fully new team. So that's how I'm stacking up the AFC South going into this season. Very intrigued to see. Hope all the teams stay healthy and the best team wins. That is your state of the AFC South.
Joey Nips brings you his Keystone segment, Toes on the Line.
You know, that's why this show is called Toe on the Line. And something just stinks to me this weekend, okay? I ain't going to save the embarrassment. I show the feet at the end of the weekly Saturday show. But what is really grinding my gears, and I'm toeing the line on going even more off than I will here, is all the week one college football, you know, ranking these teams. Arch Manning, he's getting killed. Whoa. It is week one, people. The kid went to Ohio State. Did people forget they won the national championship? One of the best defenses in the country year after year. I'm sick of people going down on after this first game. Let's play out. They got Florida eventually in week 4. They got a couple cupcakes. I'm not even telling you to look at those. But for all the people, I knew Arch was it. Sit down. Everyone thought he was the next best thing until this past week. Give it a go. He missed some passes. It happens. The dude's young. And on top of that general point, what really irks me is the week one conversation like LSU all of a sudden, they're the next best thing. Bama, bottom feeder. I'm not saying those two things can't be true, but with the transfer portal these days, NIL deal, people moving all over, the defenses are going to be ahead. If you looked at the 3 top 10 matchups from this weekend, I already talked about Ohio State and Texas, but if you looked at Notre Dame and Miami, started slow offensively. LSU, who I brought up, versus Clemson, neither team got over 21 points. It was 17-10 to get to where they needed to be. Let it breathe, people. With college football, these are young kids. We say in the NFL, be patient. Be more patient down below in college. So get better, wait about a month, and then we'll talk about and recircle to this conversation. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to start getting real mad and start swearing, but I'm toeing the line on getting real pissed off about week one college football.
Time to grab a sweet treat with Sunday's Sunday with Joey Nips.
Now I'm just getting hungry, folks. But Sunday's Sunday, that means this, okay? Everyone loves a little treat on a Sunday night, right? You're coming down from the weekend. Hopefully you're doing a victory Sunday. If you're not, either way, you want some ice cream, to cheer you up or to keep the good vibes going. Who doesn't want that? And I want to talk about a player and a team this week on Sunday. I'm going to start Joe Burrow. You're going to Cleveland this week. I don't care. That's a divisional game. He is going to go off. I know it was just preseason, but when I turned this TV on, dude completed his first 10 passes. He's ready to make noise. He is the best number one fantasy pick, I think, amongst 99% of drafts with Jamar Chase. T. Higgins, we all know. The weaponry is there. This is going to be – I don't know what that defense is going to do, but I'm going to give Joe Burrow a Sunday. And then a team to look for. They play 2 NFC South opponents the first weeks. That's Arizona Cardinals. They're at New Orleans. That QB situation we already know about. Good luck to fantasy owners out there, maybe outside of Kamara. And then week 2, their home opener against Carolina. I know people are higher on Carolina, but it's a home opener. So I'm thinking, the Cardinals, Kyler Murray, Marvin Harrison into his second year. I think the Cardinals deserve a Sunday, and Mr. Joe Burrow. So I might have brought it down with toe in the line, but we're bringing it up. And there's your 2 Sundays for this week.
Closing things out with some locker room talk with your host, Joey Nips.
Yeah, again, this is the first episode. I just want to bring up thanks for everybody who's going to be tuning in weekly. As you can see, I'm at Joey Nips with 3 S's on the end. I have my own wrestling podcast at CLEVE and Me. We do that weekly where Tampa Tones, J-Lo, others join in. We have a great time talking wrestling. In fact, on Friday night, I'm headed to see John Cena's last Chicago show ever, where I paid big money to sit on the floor. So I'm just amped up. We have Thursday night football, Friday night football. Saturday college slate is not bad. Not as good as week 1. But J-Lo talked about that, but that's going to be a good day in itself. We have Michigan and Oklahoma. And then on Sunday, we've all been waiting for this. And personally, then I live in Chicago. The Mike Ditka and me, Monday Night Football, the Bears taking on the Minnesota Vikings under new coach Ben Johnson. So thank you again, everybody. Shout out to Bucketeers. Be posting this up. It's going to be a great Thursday show. And again, I'm Joey Nips, and you're towing the line.
Bro, we'll put it like that.
Nice.
What's it like? I was actually there in attendance in Cleveland for Cove's first career NFL touchdown, which was awesome. And,
Awesome.
it was a great game. You could hear me on camera. I was just screaming, "Say it ain't so, Cove! Say it ain't so!" Sadly, from there, the game kind of went off the rails a little. That was the last high moment of that game, but it was a great game. Overtime loss, fun time.
Yeah.
How was that moment for you? Seeing the first, whether it was on TV, in person, wherever you were, seeing his first NFL touchdown. How was that?
Well, dude, I mean, we were at home because it was a away game. We don't travel to a lot of the away games because we can get into that later. But, to watch that and to think I wish I was there live. So to have your video was so cool. And just that, this is so cool. I mean, that was so cool for us. Catching it from Tom Brady, right? Like he's got the ball yet. I mean, first NFL touchdown means a lot, right? I mean, as a dad, that's so cool to see. And it was fun to watch. And, I didn't have the outcome we wanted, but still the same. What a memory! What a memory to have, right? So,
and honestly,
cool.
those. One of the best guests ever, the Bucketeers in the house tonight. You guys hear him on Tampa radio all the time. He's one of the best in the business. My favorite personal in the business. That's why I'm elated tonight. Growing up in the Chicago area, you're used to sports radio. That's what gets me through the day. So this man does help get me through the day, I will say, with the Pat and Aaron show at work. Nothing like it. So it's incredible. It looks like we got Sundae bumbling in. I'm Tampa Tones. We are joined by lead goon tonight, host of the Pat and Aaron show of WDAE, Pat Donovan. And it sounds like Sundae is bumbling a little bit. Going to put him on mute for a second until that gets a little clear. But we're joined by Pat
It looks like
Donovan.
Sundae's hanging out with Cheech and Chong in a car with the windows up or something over there.
It does look like you got a little.
No, my camera's broke.
And he was trying to pull me in big time. And then I was like, hey, nothing happened with Indianapolis yet. Like, I really want to give Indy a chance. And then also I talked to Cody Gruden, once he took over Rich McCann, it was still like, well, look, I was like, y'all just give me the opportunity to explore free agency, see what's going on, and then can I make it do it.
All right, everyone, you are tuned into the Bucketeers of wide receiver Kalen Geiger, and we are about to have a great pod. This is the Bucketeers. You're tapped in, and here we go.